Okay, I see there's two people here. Oh shit. It always does that to me. It tells me to rotate the device. And it doesn't mean it. Hello? It's set for the members to be able to comment so that they can get their readings. This is the live for the members. Um, so the member, this is a live event that happens every month. Every month I go live at the same time to do the readings for those who are members, and they comment to let me know what their question is or how they are, and things like that. It's usually a few hours long. I do one on Thursday night too for the Divine Essentials channel. The first Thursday, the first Tuesday of every month. Either one happens. The other one is $2.99 a month. This one is $5.99 a month. And there's a couple other lives happening this month on the Divine Essentials channel. On the 14th, there is a live readings. It's like pre-booking. The event has inside there where you can go pay to be part of that. And then on the 18th is another one for doing crystals. Hi, Songs of Light. Hello, Paloma. How are you? Hi, Laura. How are you? Happy New Year. It is 2023. I can't believe it. I feel like I don't know where I've been for like a long ass time. Like, feels like it was just, I don't know, a couple of days ago for so much. But my sister feels the same way because like our mom died and my sister died and like all these crazy things happened, and it was like the only way me and her know like time is because my niece keeps growing up. Like, she's already that old. Like, wasn't she just 2? um hello. I'm okay. I got this grounding mat for my bed, and I've been asleep for like a week, like just straight. um every time I get up, I feel like, okay, couldn't possibly sleep any longer. I go right back to sleep. And if I sit on this bed, I start to like fall asleep 20 minutes after sitting on it, and then I just 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. They're all asleep. They're always asleep though. They seem to be sleepers, my wieners. But it's like you plug it into the grounding part of the outlet. Like, there's three things. There's the 2 prongs and then the little hole. You plug it into the little hole, and it like runs the grounding into your home because everybody's in their house now. We don't ever seem to go outside much, especially when it's winter. So it's helping you to get rid of inflammation and just like relax and be more centered. But I've been asleep since I've got it. Hello, how are you guys? How's everybody's new year going? Or I on my Divine Essentials channel for YouTube, like there's a section when you have a channel and it tells you analytics and stuff, and there's like, hey, there's like a content gap here. They'll tell you where there's a content gap because you need to know that shit when you make content if you want your content to be seen. And it's connected to feelings. And it's like everybody's like Googling about their feelings, like feeling weird, feeling bad, feeling sad, but like nobody fucking talks about it. Like, you put stuff out there about it, and like it's like crickets, but it's like everybody feels like weird or bad or whatever, but like nobody's talking about it. Um, so I don't know. I mean, that's what I've been seeing from observation and having the analytics and all of that, and then just feeling it myself. But I do feel like it's gonna get better. Um, I know a lot of people have been like overwhelmed or sad or anxious or tired or just like frustrated, like giving up on things that they may have thought were going to be different or whatever. But I do feel like it's partly because of everything we have going on externally, as well as like we keep putting on these like towers and we keep having all these things bombarding us, and then we are empaths when we see stuff that makes us sad. Like, I can't look at certain things. Like, seeing, oh, this puppy's sad, I'm like, oh, like I'll cry. I can't handle it. So internally, externally, when we go through the awakening, we become way more sensitive, and I think it's because we have to. They have to turn it up to make us change, to make us be like, okay, like let's stop killing this place. Let's stop hurting each other. Let's stop being assholes. Let's like be more mindful about everything. And some of it's in us, like on a subconscious, where we have to go in and be like, no, no, that's not the truth. Even if you grew up, like your parents didn't have to be horrible. They could have just been like sarcastic, kid around with you. Hey, you're so dumb, ha ha ha. It goes in and it informs you and it makes you reflect like not good about yourself. And then, it makes us sick. So if you guys have been feeling weird or feeling down or feeling sad or feeling bad or feeling any of that fucking shit, it's up here. We gotta like reprogram it. Because if you want better, you're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do better. I want to be awesome. I'm gonna do all the things. I'm gonna show up all the time. Bah, 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 bah. But inside, the subconscious is like, you're too bad for that. You're stupid. You can't do that. Bah, ha, ha. You won't do it. You can't do it. It's a conflict. The subconscious will literally sabotage your life because it's stronger than conscious. You can fight it consciously, but it gets you nowhere. You have to do like theta programming, meditation, going within, being repetitious, like reminding yourself every day. Like when you wake up, like have something slap you in the face, be like, hey, don't think that. Just wait. Like, because then your whole day goes one way or the other based off of the thoughts that you think and the feelings that you feel. And then that attracts to you the people that you meet and the things that you have happen, and whether it's good or bad or positive or negative. And it doesn't always need to be positive because we live in duality. We've got to know the bad to know the good. But it doesn't always have to be bad. It can always, fluctuate a little bit, and how you deal with the bad will determine how much better the good will be and how long it lasts. So, did anybody have questions for their readings? Hi, Cedar Stone. Hi, Eb. How are you? I was gonna message Lisa. Oh fuck, I'm on my phone. Hi all, Mary Lou. Hello. I have other phones. Let me see which one would help the best. Can I get a reading concerning my path in life? What my soul... Everybody asks these things. I've been trying to figure out what to do, because obviously, like, I'm not able to do what I was doing before on this channel. Like, I just can't do it. I'm a block. They're like, nope. My internal, external world just collide with that. Just like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that. But I need to do something, or do something else. Like, get rid of it. Like, it's just a weight on me all the time. Like, I feel guilty about the channel, but I can't fucking produce what I know the majority wants me to do. And I'm like, it's like stuck between people pleasing and trying to, honor myself and my boundaries and all of that. But I know people want to know about their purpose, their mission, and then do it. So I don't know. I was thinking of doing like maybe more readings around that, and then also actual helpful, like, let me show you how to do, like what I just said about the content gap. Like, that's shit you need to know to do your purpose and mission if you're gonna do it on a grand scale. If you're gonna do it and put yourself out there, like, what's the point if you don't know? So you have middle of the season, stubborn, self-confident, stuck, purpose-driven, gets it done, reliable. And then you have the strength card, which says magnanimous, generous, hospitable, creative, caring, warm, authoritative, caring, determined, languid, active. So I feel like right now you do have what you need, like, to be able to get it done, to be reliable, to show up and become stubborn and self-confident enough to get past, if you've been feeling stuck, you have the strength and what you need to break out. So that I split the deck and I have heaviness, addictions, codependent, trapped, and this literally said fucking stuck. So it's like emotional baggage, unhappily marriage. So I'm going to talk about something that I feel like we've been having hard times, right? Like life has not been like la-di-da for a lot of us, because we've felt like connected to a person that's not there, that's not showing up, they're not doing anything, like coming in and things aren't getting better in that degree. and we want to know, where the hell are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do? Like, if this isn't where I'm supposed to be, then like help me to figure it out, because I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do, but now I'm not so sure, because it's been, difficult. But the life path, seeking the truth, your direction, finding your way, making a plan, and exploring is what you basically have been doing. You've been figuring out what you needed to know about life, about yourself, about the world at large, in order to heal and to see what's not right, what's bad, what's wrong. Like, sometimes we love people or we care about people even when they're not going to be good for us, or they're going to like hold us back, or we can love things in our life, like our subconscious belief systems could be the addiction that they're talking about. It doesn't have to be another person. But I did see man and woman here, and I know a lot of people here have had that thing where they've loved somebody that's been bad for them, or hasn't shown up in the way that's been easy or beneficial, or just kind of like, yeah, that was a fun time. So I feel like seeing like what's wrong within that too is just like, if you love somebody but you don't love yourself, that can be dangerous, because you can end up loving somebody to your own demise and like hurting yourself. And it's not to say that that's going to always be the way or anything like that, but I do feel like things have been working against us, but our persistence will pay off in the end. We can have victory in the end, but it just may not look exactly how we thought it was going to look, or it may not be exactly what we thought it was going to be. But everything that you've been doing has been leading you to where you're supposed to go. You've been figuring out where you're going to get the communication that is playful, effective, harmony, collaborating, joyful. Like we've all been waiting for the other half of our fucking situation to show up in this world, to be like, okay, now I'm ready to do the rest of what I'm supposed to be doing. But I think that's the wrong approach to look at it. Like, we got to look at the fine details and realize, like, hey, maybe you're supposed to figure out where you're supposed to go, how you're supposed to be all by yourself, and have your metamorphosis and just be the best version of you that doesn't get stuck in your subconscious belief systems, that has the strength to figure out, okay, this is where I go, and then gets driven and purposeful about it, and follows your gnosis, follows your inner call, follows spirit, and gets better with age. So getting into the chariot for your success, and then nurturing yourself, and then defending yourself, loving yourself, not letting yourself get stuck in stuff that's not good, seeing from a new perspective, and recognizing, like, when something's over, to let it go, and when something crashes and falls like this, you got to learn from it, heal from it, and then find the balance and the justice that comes out of something like that, which, again, if we keep going back into it to be wounded over and over, it's our own fault for doing that. But our belief system could be the thing that's keeping us from the valuable new start. We got to embody this for us, first of all, and we've got to embody this even if we want someone else to embody that, to come back for a passionate new start that can communicate and give the next level commitment that you've given to yourself. Like, you can't have that be a mirror to you until you've done it for you. So if you have let sadness or inequality or imbalance, or like the juggling back and forth, be the main thing that's going on as a result of the things that have happened to you with other people or with yourself, you've been more like, I'm just going to hermit away and be sad about this and self-sabotage about this, then it's very hard to get here. But you can become the magician, and then do what you need to do to balance, to think the right thoughts, to speak the right things inside, feel the right way about yourself, and then collaborate with somebody that can celebrate with you and work together with you. But it's going to require the strength to do it on your own by yourself first, and then to look at what you've done by yourself first, with putting up boundaries and self-respect and love, and letting someone see that, and then slowly make their change and their transformation to bring love to you, or for you to see beyond an illusion of thinking maybe somebody who's only going to bring burden is going to help or get better. Maybe they won't. Maybe you're going to have to let that go and let somebody else new come in with new love that can mirror you and match you and be the energetic match passionately, have that soul spark, that chemistry, the multiplying and increase of sexual energy and feeling good, and that magnetic desire, which you will have when you become the star of your own show, when you do the work on you and you stop letting other people, treat you badly or rush on in with some bullshit stuff that you know how it goes, what plays out, what has happened, the miscommunication, or the sneaky stuff, like the hoarding, like some people who want their cake and to eat it too. You may feel a soul connection with some people or want something to happen with some people, but they may not be able to give it. They may not tell you the truth, or they may not live in their truth. The truth may be the truth, but they could be self-sabotaging based out of their subconscious. So if you heal your subconscious and your thing that keeps crashing down around you, and you heal from being a wounded warrior, you'll have no choice but to close that cycle. You won't let that cycle play anymore. You'll make the decision that changes it up. So you're no longer doing this, so nobody else can come in that's doing this, because you have learned to move on from that. You've learned to love yourself enough so somebody else can love you enough on that same level. So you turn destiny into a new way, and you have the clarity in a new way. You cut the things out that only cause this and the sleepless nights. You see your value and worth, and you stop being defeated, and you start having the true partnerships and the true happiness that leads to the ultimate fulfillment, abundantly and physically and mentally and emotionally. Anybody who's going to juggle you, anybody who's going to cause this in your life, is no longer going to be able to show up in this way, because you'll break the karmic contract when you heal the karmic contract with yourself. When you give yourself that new start, and you love yourself in that new way, and you value yourself in that level that you want others to love you, that's when you can celebrate. And maybe it'll be a third party that comes in, or maybe the old party will come in and be on that level because you took it first and you went that way. It's going to be different for everybody. It depends on what your, thing is, your happily ever after. But some of us are going to see. But when you heal and you see, you're going to be fine with it, because you'll have healed. You'll be like, what the hell was wrong with me? Like, why would I have ever wanted that to begin with? Because if we're truly healed and truly love ourselves, we're not going to be attracted to the things that hurt us. We're going to be in the Empress energy, who knows what she deserves and gets what she deserves. It doesn't wait around forever trying to make things work that don't work, or lie to ourselves, or defeat ourselves, or believing things that aren't keeping us in a pleasant way. Like, our subconscious will sabotage us, and we'll be living in the darkness and the So once you come conscious and clear with what you need to walk away from and what you need to do to heal your heart and to rise up and love yourself, that's when you're going to find the right answers to do everything, because it always goes hand in hand. And I think that's why some of us may be fucking stuck right now with, what am I supposed to do, or where am I supposed to go, who am I supposed to work with, because we don't know yet. But we don't need to know yet. We just need to get there. And then when we get there, we'll know where we are and how we got there, and it will just make sense. And I think it comes in waves, because I remember when I was waking up, I never thought in my conscious mind that, like, what I was doing, learning this stuff and learning that stuff and learning this stuff and learning that stuff, they had nothing to do with each other, and figuring out what I was dealing with and figuring out what this is. I never thought it was going to, like, culminate to where it went. And then it all was like, oh yeah, it just kind of fell into a place how it like worked. It made sense. It was like, oh shit, like, now you can put your stuff online, because now you know how to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. But it didn't start out that way. I was just doing it. And then I realized, oh, so I went to a different perspective about it. So when you raise up your perspective and you look at the big picture of your life, what have you overcome? What things have been like, like, and it can be many things, and it can shift as we go, and usually it's going to. So if you've figured out that your subconscious beliefs about blah 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 were blocking you, you could go down the path of, like, manifesting, and through your own manifesting, changing and transforming, you become the hero's journey, and you become the one that knows to get the way, so you can help others to do that too. And it can be anything you really want it to be. You go down those paths, or you can go down the path where it's like, what is it that I like to do? Is it art? Is it some sort of creative thing? It's usually going to either be based off of creative stuff, or I can help you in a couple of different fields: love, money, sex, food, health, like working out. Like, those are the main things. If it's something you can help people along those lines, like in manifesting, mindset, you usually can find an audience that wants to learn where you've been and where you are now. And a lot of times we don't recognize, where we are, because we're living it. So, like, there's times where I'm like, oh shit, maybe I should try to teach people that basic step that is so basic to me that I don't even think of it as a step. I don't even see the separateness within it, but it is there. And some people don't know the first step because they haven't taken it. But you know the first step. You just have to remind yourself of where you've been and who you are and where you're going, and what you've done. Like, I was a heroin addict when I was younger. Nothing worked for me. I was depressed. I was miserable. I stopped, trying to deal with like the mainstream of here's some medicine that makes you worse, or here we'll lock you up and fuck you up and, make you crazy. Because the thought of being something wrong was the problem. But when I found Reiki healing, that's when I stopped having like so many of the bad experiences that I was having in that arena with the depression. But I had like gotten off of the drugs and then went through the awakening, and it's like you start to see differently, so you can help people. I could go approach that as like, I'll help people who've been in a heroin addiction, or I'll help people who are depressed, or I'll help people who dealt with the twin flame fucking bullshit. Or now that I've learned about more stuff, I could help people with their attachment situation, because or the people who have the attachment that I have, like fearful avoidant, is the most fucked up one that you can have. So there's not a lot of people out there that are helping people with it, but it's literally finding who you are, what you've done, and then reapproaching and like back engineering the process that you've gotten to, so that you can help other people to do the same thing that you've done. And you don't have to be perfect. I think everybody thinks that, oh, I should be like all done. You're never done. You're never going to be done healing. There's never going to be a time where you're like, I'm perfectly done. Because you live here where there's illusions and there's bullshit and there's scary and there's complicated and there's judgments that are made on us before we even come here. And we have to die energetically a few times and then be reborn. We're going to go through the painful endings, and each time we're going to wake up in a new level, and we're going to see the subconscious shit and the conscious shit, but we're going to elevate up in our value and our worth. Like, if you look back over your life, you probably have seen you rise up. I know I have seen myself definitely overcome a lot of fucking shit. I still have a lot to do, but the only way we can do is going within, meditating, and then, not hoarding that information. Some people get weird and they like don't want anybody to know their secret. It's like, there's plenty of people here. You don't need to hoard it. So deep commitment, uncommon bonds, the reawakening of lost hope, manifesting the deep desires, and lifting out of the darkness or lifting out of the heaviness, being somebody that can see the problem and overcome the problem, fan the flames, get things done, and use your maturity for the light bulb moment that's going to help you to see the hidden mysteries and the secrets and become the good friend to yourself, so you can unite with yourself and then work together with the right people who are going to actually care and be there through duty and crisis and good and the bad, seeing from that new perspective again, and not letting other people deceive you or lie to you or use you in a bad way for sex or whatever. Seeing from the higher perspective, because even if you do go through this or have bad shit, you're gonna, when you see from the higher perspective, you put it all together, you realize it was just a lesson. It was something I needed to learn. It needed to put me where I am, and now I can prevent other people from going there. I can help other people from suffering and struggling along the way. So try to shift the perspective you have about the things that have happened in your life, or who you are right now, and see yourself as that balanced person that has gotten to where you've gotten to, and then see, how can I turn around and help other people? Being in service is one of the best ways, and then also being grateful for anything that you have done and everything that you have acquired in this transformation, and then just trying to be in that energy about how you show up, just being grateful. Oh goodness, there's a lot of comments. All right, more of a creative path. Yeah, so when you're on a creative path, you can also just do what you need to do to put it out there. You still need to know that other stuff. So like when I was figuring things out, my first thing was becreativewithyou.com. I was going to do all the things that I like to do, which is draw, paint, poetry, write. Like, I'm never not creating something. A lot of people don't end up seeing what I create because I don't share everything. But I do constantly am creating. You can go down that path and just have that be the thing, but you still want to have like a mix of something in there that gets to be different from other people's, or has like an element of help, or has a purpose or a meaning behind it. Like, there is people out there who need things just because they need, or they like them, or just because they like them. But if you add something to it, usually that is better than just like making a painting for the painting's sake. Doing like something with meaning, like when people I know have a loss in their family, like sometimes the spirit of whoever has been lost will come to me, and I write them a letter. So that's like a creative thing. Writing the letter is a creative like outlet for using the writing ability that I have to tap in. So if you can incorporate something like that, or do like a memorial piece of whatever, like I'm gonna make a painting of the pet, or I'm gonna make a painting of the spirit. What does the spirit look like of that thing? And then if you get messages about it or pull cards to go with it, it doesn't have to be like elaborate, but spirit will take over and fill it in if you give it the pathway to be created, and that will help you to gain more resources, large quantity, money, income, prosperous, multiply. But you've got to ask, come from the heart, fill it with something that means something, and then put it out there and constantly put it out there and look for the best ways to do that, because art is different than, you know, a blog. A blog is different than um, making videos on here. Like there's different ways to approach all of them, but you still probably want to make content for all of these. Like Pinterest, people sleep on Pinterest. Pinterest is one of the biggest. Like when I put content onto Pinterest when I first started my Etsy store, that was the place that sent the most traffic to my Etsy shop, and I was like, really? Because nobody ever talks about it, but it is one of the good ones. If you make fresh content for it, you don't just pin other people's stuff. You've got to make fresh content that points to the things that you have available, and keep putting it out there and keep promoting yourself every fucking day. And it becomes difficult because we may not have the most confidence in ourselves, or we don't feel good enough about what we have, or well, I feel weird being like, hey, look at this. But we have to, because otherwise it doesn't see. So repetition, making the dreams come true, is persistence paying off even when things work against you. It sucks to put yourself out there. I don't like when I go on Instagram, if I make a pick a card, there's like 800 people who like it. If I share my something of mine like that I made, there's like 8 people who like it. So it's like, oh god, but that's just how this world is. At least those 8 people saw it. If I paid an ad to make it be seen by more people, that would be better. Using Etsy is a own place with 100,000 people in there, so it's like they do half the battle for you. If you just put your stuff in there, people are going to see it. But you got to be on top of it. You can't just let it be for months the same thing. You've got to keep adding new pictures. You got to keep adding new listings, freshening it up, like pacing yourself, because when you put new listings in, it takes you to the top of the feed in Etsy. If you're not doing shit like that, you're going to fall to the bottom of the feed. Nobody's going to see you. So you got to be unique and use these things. And like the information that I'm telling you is not like magically coming into my brain. I found it for free online, and I learned, and I looked, and I Googled, and I kept looking, I kept Googling, I kept learning. The persistence will pay off, but it's not easy. It's not like, oh, it's just a boom, a boom, and you're done. It takes a lot to learn to get to the victory and the recognition that people want. You're not always going to get 100 likes. You're not always going to get 100,000 people following you. You don't need 100,000 people to follow you. You need the people to follow you who value you and value what you do. And you take the little steps on the way to get there, and make the decisions that are going to help you when you're building the world. Because the world is in your hands. You create whatever you're going to have. You can be very abundant, or you can cut yourself off by either being in your fears or in your strength about what you have to value yourself with, and then value to the world that you deliver. And keep teaching yourself, keep Googling, keep learning, keep evolving, keep stepping up. Like you're not gonna get anywhere unless you keep teaching yourself more and more. So learn, follow people who inspire you, do what they're doing, learn by observation, and then also applying yourself. All right. Oh shit! I didn't see Songs of Light. Did I do Songs of Light? Oh yeah. I don't know if I did. Was that was Songs of Light? I did, right? I didn't see the music part, like learning a new instrument. But the same thing with that. Play the instrument, sing the songs. If you're gonna sing, if you're gonna play songs, if you're gonna use somebody else's music, like follow the heart and the soul, and put energy into it that means something and matters. And then figure out where the best place to share it. Everybody and their brother now makes songs, and they be like that girl, Victoria's Secret song. She was just another girl. Like nobody knew who she was, and then that song went viral. traveling around right now. It's been adventurous. Hope you are well and had peaceful holidays. Hey, hey, hey! Ah! I'm open to whatever message that comes through. I know a few others were here before me, though. If they have questions first, that's awesome. Where are you? So you got. All right, I'm gonna do Abby. I just go in the way that they come in because it's easier than bouncing around. I'll forget or get lost. Like I went downstairs earlier and I went into the kitchen to turn the light off in a room, but because I like decided to bring something with me at the last second, I went there, came back, and then like never turned the light off. I can't do that. I gotta just do like the. So you said you were open. I have the mice coming through, which is illness, fatigue, stress, anxiety, worry, reduce, restless, filth, decay, deteriorate, loss, and theft. Like whoa. Um, you all right? Like what the fuck? I know where you are. There's like it's not perfect. There's conditions that I've heard you to say like it's not the best. And I feel like that in itself can sometimes make us worry and fatigued. And you said you've been traveling, so maybe you're feeling better right now because you're traveling, or maybe you've been feeling more vibrant, more comfort, more leisure, wishes coming true. Like the ladybug energy is like, oh, this isn't so bad, you know. So you could be changing your perspective about things or just seeing things differently because when you shift where you are, you do that. Like it's like, oh, fresh eyes, like a kid's eyes. Like I haven't experienced this experience in a while. That's why I move my furniture around a lot. That's why I'm always changing things up because being in the same thing, you get into these ruts where you fall into like a hole of like lying and deceitful to yourself, like oh, this is it. I'm just gonna die here. Life sucks forever. And I hate my life. Like we can go down really quickly and then pull ourselves back up out of there and be totally fine. um, Based on what's around us, and our attitude is everything. Being cool, calm, and collected, following our heart's desires, knowing that we can have our wishes come true. We're not always going to be in the best environments. We're not always going to be in the best places, but there's a fucking reason for it. We got to get problem solving. We got to get resourceful. We got to do what I was saying a little bit ago, like Google, search, look for the ways out. How did they do it? I'm going to do it. And sometimes it's going to take me longer than it took someone else, and sometimes it's going to be quick and easy, and sometimes it's going to suck. But when I go through my crisis, I will get guidance. I will through the trials and tribulation and all of that, and then I'm going to have the aha moments and revealing enlightenment, invention, and knowing what I need to do to have the victory and to birth that new beginning where I'm persistent and things pay off, and then I get that income increase and money and abundance and joy and like the proposals, the engagements, the things that take me to that next level when I go through my transformation as the this guy here, the rebirth, transformation, the phoenix rising through the ashes, and then the hummingbird being light as a feather coming out of the negativity, being resilient, and then the albatross. Is the albatross that thing that I showed you with the fucking like fighting with their beaks? I think I put it in the video I shared today. I think it is the albatross. I'm not sure. It's a bird, but the bird like they fight with their beaks and then they're like to mate. But this is the next bird that was like a good sign, an omen. Burdens, feeling cursed, guilt, shame, regret. I feel like you could go between these two things. Like one moment you're la, and the next minute, which I do all the time. I'm up and down, like based off of fucking mild inconveniences in my life. I'm like, I hate my life. Just depends on what's going on around you. If you're not feeling so good, if stress is piling up, if you don't know where where you're headed or where you even want to head, sometimes life can be heavy. But I feel like you have everything you need to be self-confident and purpose-driven, getting it done, being reliable to yourself, and looking at the fine details of things around you, remembering your memories of like what like the omens and the observance, like figuring like you've gotten better. You've risen out of places already. You're still going. You're still rising. You're still figuring it out. Like there's still elements of the unknown, but you are doing what you need to do to get out of like seeing towers or having more of those. Sometimes those are good. If we don't like where we are, we need the tower to fall occasionally to get us to move, because other times we will just sit in the same place until the fucking tower pushes us out. So I feel like your wheel of fortune is spinning. It's going to take you towards unconditional love, good things. If you've been having negative thoughts or heavy thoughts or fears and doubts and, just feeling kind of strung along, or not really like knowing exactly who you are, feeling like you want to be right in every moment, there is a death that's coming of all of that and a walking away of that, feeling that way. So you can be happy, meet the right people who are going to be like the right partnership for you, to work hard and to rise into the star, making your wish come true. Like, this could be reconciling, celebrating, just enjoying things, but you need to open up. Sometimes it's hard to speak our truth and to put ourselves out there of what our truth is. Sometimes we don't like what our truth is, but it's still our fucking truth. And when we're vulnerable and authentic and we courageously express it, we actually increase our value, and our vulnerability and all of that is like hand in hand. We move on from the difficult fucking chaos and the fears of being seen or known or heard or whatever, and we create the boundaries that helps us to increase this, so that those who mirror this and match this can mirror and show up. And then making decisions becomes a lot easier, especially in terms of love and partnerships and manifesting ultimate fulfillment into our lives, because we've chosen to unconditionally love us and to heal the programming that was instilled into us, passed down through generations and past lives and experiences that we've been through, and intuitively navigating to clarity, dropping the burdens, and then having our destiny unfold in a much more beneficial way as the Empress. So I feel like basically, yeah, you just got to keep your mindset on the new and take action. Keep taking action, even if it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, even if it feels like you're wasting your time. Sometimes we feel that way, or we feel like nobody saw it. But then you'll be surprised occasionally. Like even recently doing the podcast episodes, like I was feeling all types of ways about it, because I know how people are. Like, people don't usually want to hear like certain things, or like some people will benefit and some people will like not want to. But it doesn't really matter. With the podcast for myself, it was making me say what I have never said. I've never put it out there. I've never said it. And because of that, it's almost like you doubt yourself. Like, did that really happen? But when you talk about it and you're like, yeah, that really did happen. Like, there's all these details that back it up. Like, you know, it gets it out of you. So it's no longer living in there. You don't have to do it on a grand scale to everybody, but you can just put it out of your body and then rewrite a new story by either physically writing it, like scripting, or just by starting to live a new one, by believing the new beliefs and feeling the new feelings and experiencing the new experiences, minus like where we've come from and what we've dealt with and who we've been and where we've been. Um, and how everybody deals with that or how everybody heals is up to them. But being unconscious or just self-conscious about all of that, I've had people message me privately and say thank you about like the podcast episode about this or that, blah blah blah, because it helped them and it made them feel better and they didn't feel so alone. Like I totally understand and resonate. But some of them don't want to comment that publicly because it's one of those things where we have that fear we're self-conscious about. So sometimes it's going to be scary, but when it is scary, sometimes it's the best for others too. Just trust what spirit guides you to do, even if it's fucking scary. Usually the scariest shit is what we're supposed to do. If you're fucking petrified of doing something, or like, I might do that, but I'm really scared of doing that, like, that'd be kind of a scary time. Usually that's the thing that's going to have the biggest thing. It's going to have the biggest outcome. It's going to be the biggest commitment, and it's going to make those uncommon bonds come about, and it's going to help you to reawaken lost hopes and manifest the deep desires that you have, because you got to make big changes to make big differences in your life. And however that makes sense for you is going to be how it makes sense for you. But become more easygoing about it. Like, so what? Who cares? Who cares what people think? Who cares? Nobody's going to fucking, as long as you don't like come out the gate being like mean to people, you're probably fine. And if somebody doesn't like you or gets weird about something, that's on them. Don't let that keep you from being who you are, how you want to be in the world. Keep the flames burning inside of your magician transformation, transmuting the bullshit that you've had to go through, and be showing up every day. You know, there's things that are going to work against you. There's repetitive, abusive, you know, things that have played out, but you can break free. You can live like what you want to live and have the victory in your life without any more of that, like feeling like you have been stuck inside of something, or that you can't be better than. You might believe it on a subconscious level, and that might be keeping you stuck. It's a storm that needs to be cleansed or released so that your magnetic vibration can bring the things to you very exceptionally and attractive. You've got to believe this about yourself to create this. If you don't believe you're very attractive and exceptional, and like you have this illumination and this chemistry, and you're just somebody that like this just emits this, if you can't feel this way, you can't create the things that feel that way. So that's the whole thing, is like we can't have the perfect partner if we don't feel like the perfect partner, or we don't feel like we're good enough for the perfect partner. We can't have like the perfect experiences until we know that we're worthy of them, feel that we already have them, and reach that accomplishment within ourselves, and just keep, you know, emitting that. Which, the way this world is, everybody's afraid to be too confident. You don't want to, oh God, don't be too pretty, because then other people will hate you and be jealous and rah. It's like, well, you can't do anything without, like, you gotta, it's like, if you're too much of this, there's gonna be haters. If you're not enough of that, you're not gonna be seen. But you gotta try to find the one that feels good for you, and then just keep being that. Be steady, show up every day as that. If you want to be sexy, be sexy. Like, sometimes, you know, people are not going to like you if they're jealous, or if they feel like you're smarter, or they feel like you have more money, or whatever the fuck it is. But you're never going to get there if you don't allow yourself to have that ability to be that, and not worry so much about pissing other people off, or, you know, being odd man out, or weird, or too confident. God forbid, people don't want to be conceited or whatever. it's a hard battle between those two places, but you're better off to just believe in yourself, and then take those little stepping stones to being that perfect, you know, delicate, unique, exquisite, pattern detailed of a fragile, you know, perfect little human that can get their heart broken, that can have bad things happen, but can also reawaken those lost things, and be unique in the way that you show up to express your connection to spirit and all the things that you have that do make you magnetically charged, so people want to come to you, to receive from you, to heal from you, to know what you know, or to learn what you've learned. And things will play out at the perfect timing. Your community, your network will grow. Everything will increase, and you might need to use your sexual energy to get it to increase. You know, if you want, you know, people to present you their emotions and things like that, you know, feel sexy, feel drawn, like the receptive feminine energy. Like, it's kind of hard to approach this. Sometimes we need this to keep the balance, but we also need the other side of it to get to the love. So finding that in between everywhere in life is what we're all trying to do, without killing ourselves or being too conflicted on the way, which is not easy. It's like, she asked me recently, because I did something finally with boundaries, and was like, no. She asked me, did you feel good? Like, because I should, right? Like, I should feel good about saying no and having that boundary. And I was like, no, I don't. Like, I'm not going to lie. I wish I could have said yes. I wish I could have. I don't like saying no. Like, I don't like that people have to be the way they are, that I have to tell them no, or that I can't enjoy spending time with them the way they're being. But because I know that there's like an expiration date or an expiration time on the way that they're being, I can't let them around at all. So I have to say no. And no, I don't enjoy that. I don't like that. It fucking pisses me off. It makes me sad, and it makes me frustrated with the world. But I know me doing that is helpful for me, and it's going to be a long process before maybe I am fully on the other side of, like, you know, not feeling bad about that. Or maybe I will always love people unconditionally and wish better of them, but you can't wish better of somebody and expect them to embody it. They have to embody it on their own. and show up on their own. And it's, again, a stepping stone. So by us being dutiful and grounded and loving to ourselves, having those victory moments, to not get strung along, or in those puzzling fucking conundrums, we will become more magnetic to a better situation. We won't run into the stalemates. We won't run into those riders or those people who are fly by night. Maybe they will transform because you've transformed and you've risen above. But if they haven't, you're going to see when they haven't, because they're not going to be a vibrational match. So it doesn't matter how magnetically stunning or whatever you are, you will not be able to let them into your orbit, because they're not able to come into the orbit because they're not on the same level. These fireworks and this stuff has to be aligned in the fire. So, keep rising up for the sake of yourself, and let people either meet you there or, not meet you there. But you'll know what to do when you get there. All right. Let's see. Ah! Bridget, you look great. Thank you. That's awesome. Where are you now? I saw you were in Chicago. How is it going to be my love and career life this year? I'm trying to let go of my twin and putting my energies in my new job. Let go of the twin and put energies in the job. How is it going to be my love and career? I've been asleep for a week. Maybe that's why I look all right. Oh, look at that. You're going to be the head of the pack. You're going to be successful, competitive, getting it done, leading shit, taking the dominant, persistent will to win, and expanding, and spinning that wheel of fortune. Like, woohoo, I've fucking done it. I've done it. I've taken this leap of faith into this new direction. And because of that, I'm going to be magnetically charged. Like all the stuff I was just saying, like, when you choose to love yourself and you unconditionally love and you have that good heart and you're cool, calm, collected, you're not all anxiously like, love me, or letting people, come in and hurt you. When you put the boundaries up and you face the fucking fears of the conflict that comes along. Because a lot of us are people pleasers and we feel bad saying no. So we let ourselves get hurt over and over and over because we hope that other people are going to have that same love within themselves, or that same heart, that same compassion for that valuable new start. But sometimes they don't. So we've got to move forward, take the leap of faith, and find the people who are going to be balanced with us and give to us a valuable offer. So you have the solution, the intelligence, the genius, the insight, the clarity to break out for liberty and unlock the things that have been probably in the past leading to painful endings, but now you're seeing through the facade, you're seeing through the darkness, the secrets are lifted, you're becoming wise and aware so that love can come, present itself to you for a passionate new beginning after a transformation. And you may learn to also take your time. Like, don't rush with people. Don't let people fool you or trick you, because sometimes that's the case. Like, these people can go from being very closed off and like no to very like fast and like saying all the right things, doing all the right things, only to go right back to that juggling and that deceit that leads us to feeling like, what the fuck? Oh my God. But you may feel committed or like, I'm going to wait for that. But I feel like you've come to the close of that cycle where now you're going to put yourself first so you can rise up and find the right partnerships with work and your life and your friends and your family and your thoughts, so that you can work with the right people to build something that's worth having. And you may reconcile with somebody once that clarity has come and they've recognized that you've left them in the past. Now they may reflect on it and feel defeated about it and then apologize for it. Some of them will, some of them won't. It's going to depend on their ego. It's going to depend on how much they care. It's going to depend on, like what their idea of good is, or how much of a wish they have to be able to overcome the bullshit. Because they have their own negative thoughts and they have their own obstacles and their own barriers and their own shit that they're stuck within. Whatever we've got going on is usually being reflected back to us when we truly are dealing with somebody like a twin flame. But it still might need to die in order for the rebirth to actually come about in a better way. And it depends on what they've brought into it, who they bring into it. Are you at a stalemate? Is there any way that you could ever trust them again? Have they lied too much? It really just depends on a lot of details, but there will be divine intervention for all of us that have been through karmic cycles and bad shit. We will have a divine energy show up to be there with us when we take our mask off, and we're not afraid to put ourselves out there. We're not afraid to be who we are, to say what we need to say, and to express the uncommon bond that we've had, and then to follow the guidance that we get shown by spirit to collaborate with the right people. A lot of us know deep down like what we need to do or where we should be or what we should feel or think, but again we get sabotaged because of what's gone on in this world around us and what we believe about ourselves subconsciously, and just because sometimes we want things to work, we're like, I think I can, but we don't put enough of the other parts into the evolution of ourselves for the death process to truly be had. Like, we don't let that, like, we might get an apology from somebody, but we don't do the fullness of it so that, like, the commitment part is there. So it's like only a matter of time before the deceit happens again. We fall back down, but maybe we got further ahead this time than we did last time. Maybe last time it was like, immediately out the gate it was bad, and then we waited for it to get better. We got creative on how they were going to approach with this to make us happy for a short time, but then it eventually, went back down. Intuitively, you're going to know, when things are right or wrong. Like, you're going to get the omens, you're going to have the sensations. Like, I've said things flat out to myself in a reading that I listened to, and I'm like, that sounds like it's talking to me, from me. And then get confirmation on it like a year later, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I didn't know at the time, but I did know at the time. But sometimes we don't let ourselves see what we do know, or we don't let ourselves be what we know we need to be, or do what we know we need to do, because we're too wounded, or because we want to be wounded, or because we're too much in this place of, feeling brokenhearted or sad or whatever. But I feel like you're figuring out the decisions that you need to make that don't lead you right back to here every time. Meditating every night, affirmations every day, slowly taking your way to that valuable new start with a true divine emperor man in his power that has something of value to give to you that's going to make your wishes come true. You're intuitively going to pick it up whether or not they're bringing you love or bringing you bullshit, So you've got the stepping stones inside of you to know how to get to that temperance and how to see things from the higher perspective to get the emperor, so that your wishes can come true and you can have comfort and spark that fire into your life, so that everything, your resources, your money, your happiness, your joy can come to you, and like you can be assertive about it and feel good. Again, that subconscious level is the where to start. We really need to put a death to the old beliefs that we hold, and I keep seeing that like coming up in stuff like the messages from spirit and like other people who are readers or other people who get guidance. They keep saying like this year is like we're really getting into this and recognizing this and figuring out how to put a stop to it so that we can change what's been happening, because we keep doing this lifetime after lifetime, facade after facade. We're lying to ourselves, and we're manipulating ourselves, hurting ourselves, and blocking ourselves from the people who are truly going to feel this way and that are going to be able to love us in the way that what this actually represents, because this doesn't represent pain and hurt and cheating and lying and all the things that a lot of us end up going through, but we don't see it that way at the time. So becoming your best friend, communicating with yourself so that you can communicate with others what it is that needs to be communicated to have the resurrection or the birth of this new you. And it's probably going to come after a time of being on your own and figuring out who you were and how you were showing up. But things that were working against you, your persistence is going to pay off in the end, and you will get the one. You will find the one. You will have your money. You will feel good. The Wheel of Fortune, fate, and things are coming, but you've got to stop the beliefs. Stop thinking the bad thoughts. Stop feeling like there's bad omens. Find the true north and then go towards it. You have the strength to do it, to find your way. And again, the moon is the subconscious. We need a death of whatever we're believing at our core, whatever we came from. Just, again, it doesn't have to be like people were horrible to you or whatever. It's just like these little subtle things. Just looking at people on fucking social media, like, oh, look at this woman that's been photoshopped and she's had all this fucking work done to her body, and then they like, you don't see like the Kardashians, right? Like, I've even seen that today. I saw like one of those articles about them, and it was like PETA was going after them about their dogs, and then the one underneath that was some like the town was going after them for fucking using 100,000 gallons over what they're supposed to be using because they're in the biggest drought that they've ever had in California. And the one under that was like, backlash for blah 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 blah. So you see like all this like hate towards them. But for the years leading up till now, it's always been all this love and support for them. And I'm like, okay, well, I think people are starting to see through the fake, through the facade. They're realizing, like, we've got to see through this shit because it's not real. Oh, the other thing was her having, because she's so rich and, like, the way that she lives, she's like, well, obviously my beauty standards are achievable because I've achieved them. Yeah, but not everybody gets a fucking laser treatment every night, and not everybody has the money for this and that and that and this, and is what the comments were saying. Like, not everybody can achieve it because not everybody is you. So people are seeing that, and I'm not saying that's good that they're attacking her, but I think it's good that people are seeing through the facade of her. Like, she's not somebody to put on a fucking pedestal and to be like, wow, let's be like that. Because there's no depth there, there's no love there, there's no care there, there's nothing of value or like substance there. It's just fucking bullshit, ego, drama, lies that are like not good. So fanning the flames of what's real and what's true and what makes you unique and putting yourself out there in that way and respecting yourself, loving yourself, you know, transforming out of that shit, knowing where you're going on a quest to take the mask off of our egos and to see beyond the ego of others, like see beyond the mask that they all portray, so that we can have the dudes that show up with are heart-centered. They're not there to trick us. They're not there to just bang us and leave us. They're not there to play the field with like 10 other people at the same time. You know, we're not going to be asleep anymore on any level when it comes to how we show up in our life, and that's going to increase the value, and just because of that alone is going to attract the true love, the true passion, that you can feel safe to be passionate and sexy within, because you're going to know there's also love there, and also to rise in your life and your passion and your drive, how you show up in the world. Like if you're going to be creative or you're going to do something to help inspire other people, just do it with meaning and depth, and that will be seen and recognized and enjoyed much better than a lot of the shit that people put out there. Alright, let's see. Sassy Granny coming out to play, it seems. Thank you for all these insights. I feel this makes sense for me. Thank you. You're welcome. I found you through IG feed, and I was so happy with the readings. Haha. Cool. I don't know if you're talking to me or others. Hopefully, let's. Oh wow, we got 11. We did have 11. There was 11 people and 11 likes. Hi, hello. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. That's awesome. I'm open as well. I'm doing a class until 10, so I'm not in a hurry. Okay. I think it is probably 10 now. Yeah, it's 10:15. Oh. Did anybody see if, did Lisa show up? I don't think Lisa showed up. I was going to message her earlier, and I forgot, and I haven't messaged her. I just want to send her a text. I mean, send her an email. Well, because my texting is here, and I can't do that from that while I'm live. So, I just want to send her an email real quick, because I've been in bed dying for like a week. Like, not dying, but just like sleeping and non-stop fucking sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and more sleeping. And it's like, wake up. You gotta do something. Lisa. And Lisa, she, you know, sometimes she forgets. Why isn't it showing up? Come on. Thank you. Live. Hey, I'm live. I forgot to forgot to tell you. If you miss it, text me a question. Okay, bye. Alright. Lisa's had some bad weeks. Her twin passed. So I want to make sure she's okay. Alright. Alright. Jenny Sunshine is open. Ah, shit. Alright. No, you're not. You're so fucking guarded and holding back, and you're being a fucking emperor, man. Stop. Stop being the goddamn emperor. You gotta be the girl. Take your mask off. Be open a little bit more. Be adaptable, chameleon. You know, like, we already know, like, you're good, okay? You're gonna get this. You're gonna have that come in, but you gotta let them come in. I feel like there's a part of you that sometimes is too guarded or too afraid or too you know, which I get. I've been there. I do that myself, so I know exactly what it is. It's just a defense mechanism that we don't even recognize within ourselves. Sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. We're just doing it by just being. But we've been conditioned to be this way through, you know, fucking painful, horrible times that we've had where something that was wrong was done, or people just, you know, brought us to a stalemate, and we had to hold out and be tough and be strong and be in our powerful energy, which is that masculine energy, which is good that you can do that, you know, don't get rid of it altogether. But you can't stand alone and be there all the time and then expect, you know, like, this to be able to show up in your life to help you, to be there for you, to hold you in that protection, in that love, in that support. And I feel like you've gotten better at it, but I do still sense that, like they're saying, there's some part of you that's still being distant. You're still being a little cold. You still get your eye on the prize because you feel responsible for you, and that, like, only you will be able to do for you the way that you need things done. You know, like, you've been for everybody else, that one that shows up and that gets things done and has been dependable, and showing other people, like, you know, you've been the cool, calm, collected, which is a good thing. But sometimes it's okay to let that go down a little bit, to be the high priestess and to trust other people that won't deceive you, that aren't going to hurt you. It's okay to let, like, an intervention to come on in and you know, rise up into a new place where, you know, you can get what you deserve. You can have a balance. You can be the divine feminine and divine masculine, and you can have the right people who are going to build a steady foundation with you that's not going to look like what it looked like when you were a kid. It's not going to look like what it looks like when things aren't balanced, or when people are bad, or when people are, you know, putting all their shit on you, which is unfortunately how many of us got used to being, is being the dependable one, or just taking on more than we should. But your persistence is going to pay off on your journey. You are making the right decisions to where to go, and you are going to wind up in the right peaceful collaboration with the people who also want to solve problems and also are heart-centered and devoted and good. But just make sure that you are aware of your chariot, because I feel like sometimes you get steady and you're like, I think I can, and I'm going and I'm running and I'm boom, 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 and you just don't make the time to open up for the other part to come in. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we can become a little, like, just like stuck in a rut, but we don't it's not even a rut. It's like you're doing good, you're rising up, you're doing what you need to do, you're increasing your finances and increasing your income and multiplying, and you're in the right vibration. But sometimes we need to also have this, we need to release our drive and our desire to have, like, passion and desire and sexual developing over age, like the fine wine, like enjoying life on all the levels, like what the perfection is for you. Yes, be practical and grounded. Yes, know your way on your path. Yes, do all those things that you've been doing, but also give yourself time to be the empress. Give yourself time to nurture and love yourself, and let someone else do it too. Let somebody else show up and illuminate and bring that sexual desire and drive and warmth and, you know, harmony and balance, and listening to, like, just that fire, like a fire, and warm and holding and embracing and just releasing the fight. You know, like, we don't always have to be in a fight, but sometimes we feel that way because there's been unpredictable power struggles, there's been concealed egos, there's been things that just hurt us and put us into that hermit mode, into our solo, I've got to take care of everything, I can't trust nobody, this world is bad, hard place, I gotta fight. But you can be magnetic and charming and seductive, and attract in the right people to bring in a multiply of your victory in all areas, not just like finances, or not just work, or not just being strong, but being nurtured and being loved and being vulnerable and being able to enjoy that. and enjoy others. And I think you have been doing that, but I think that sometimes um, I think you just have that ability to get swept up into other stuff, or just need the reminder once in a while to come back that like not all things are going to end badly, because I know you can just automatically, all right, this is going to go bad or what about this, like we always have that like bracing ourselves for the other fucking shoe to drop, but the other shoe doesn't have to drop, but it will drop if we expect it to. If we expect that it's going to end bad, if we expect that we're going to go to this death place where, you know, we break up or people hurt us or people just let us down again or da 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 da, whatever it's been that we've seen time and time again, a lot of times we get to that place where we just expect it. But you can attract in a true emperor and transform, you know, write a new spell about your life, because we are spelling, right? When we say things or we write things about our lives and about ourselves, I'm so stupid, I'm an idiot, blah blah, we are spelling the words that are spells over our life, over each other. We're all made up of water too. So whatever we have going on internally through our mind and our thoughts and like coming at us from other people, how they feel, oh, she's an idiot, she's an asshole, or jealousy, hate, resentment, whatever, it hits us and it's going to be reflected in our body, in our energy field, unless we love ourselves enough to like bounce it off and protect ourselves and cut the cords and call on Archangel Michael and just do all the shit we got to do to keep rising out of that place, or overcoming that shit that's out there within us and external of us. Because when we do, we can vibrate at the higher quotient. We can be like that snowflake, like the Dr. Emoto, right? He had all these water drops that he flash froze, and when you put them under the microscope, it's either a beautiful snowflake or a like nasty puddle of ugh. It's just dirty, gross. But it's because of the word love or the word hate that was taped on the cups that the water came out of, that would reflect the beautiful or the polluted, the nice high vibration harmony love or the not so good. So obviously if that's going to happen just from taping a word on a fucking cup, what do you think is going to happen by thinking those thoughts? What do you think is going to happen by having people say those things, whether or not they're joking or they're just being like you know, sarcastic? Because we all do it. I've done it. I do it to, like with my sisters and stuff growing up. We were, oh, you're so stupid, you're an idiot. But that's really detrimental to other people because we're putting that energy over them. And we're putting it over ourselves. And our subconscious doesn't know the fucking difference between, you know, sarcastic. Just like the internet doesn't know the fucking difference of sarcastic or not. We don't have a font yet for that. You know, our brains don't have that either. We're very much like computers. So I feel like just be mindful of that, because your wishes, your peace, your good stuff is coming to you, and you can have the prosperity and all of those good things, but you need to be more so what about what's already happened, or so what about what you know, have seen so far, and then trust that a good thing can come about. But if you expect that something's going to be wrong or bad, or you expect this negative stuff, or you think that everything will eventually be what has been, you will seclude yourself out into the middle of nowhere, and you'll never get anywhere good, because you won't trust anything. You miscommunicate with yourself, you miscommunicate with others, you'll sabotage things unconsciously. But there are heart-centered, devoted people to partner up with that are not going to deceive you, that are going to be this dude, heart-centered, and trust spirit to guide you. Could be a reconciliation, it could be an all new thing. But either way, your destiny will unfold as you allow it to, and multiply and increase that magnetic spark that you have by seeing new abilities, knowing new things, knowing those experiences made you mature, so that you know the difference between the good and the bad. Like, you won't get tricked because you've come from there. You know what to expect now. When we see those red flags, we take off. We don't stay and play, you know? But then we don't guard ourselves to like the end of time either. Just be the unique, delicate snowflake that you need to be. And this energy here, standing alone, guidance, like stand alone when you feel you need to, or protect yourself, but don't let it become like almost like an addiction or its own ball and chain that keeps you from this yes energy of like high vibrational, bright illuminated, divine intervention, the happy ever after. Like, if, you know, we can keep that from ourselves if we don't trust that it's available to us. So being the emperor and the empress, you can be both, but make sure you're balanced in both so that both can be in your life. Because right now, a lot of us have been too much in our masculine energy because of the way society has become, and women wanting women's rights and all of that, and be equal and blah blah blah, which is good, but I think we took it a little too far at some levels, which was sometimes out of necessity, but also just out of collective strength within our consciousness of creating. Let's see. Too focused on one thing and not enough on the other, waiting for the shoe to drop. Yes, I'm working on my expectations. I just did the cord cutting meditation and the entity and implant. Awesome. My third eye is itchy. Amazing message for everyone. Awesome sauce. It's funny. I had this. I put this up the last time I did the live with you, Jenny, on the other channel, and this is like my thing that's left for the activations and stuff. But I had put it up, and the first week that it was out, I did it because it was right here in front of me, but then I put it up high on the like, there's a tall lamp here, and I put it way up there, so it was like I was not seeing it. So again, I went too long without doing it, but I just put this down on this one of it, so now it's eyesight. I did it yesterday, so hopefully I will do it again, but I'm thinking when I do the next one, it's felt weird to me because I wanted to do a meditation that I could publish live for the channel, so I'm going to do them backwards again. I'm going to do the I am a conduit meditation, and then the release the fear and limitation activation will be coming up. Those should be rather quickly because I want to get this done so I can do the one with the shamanism stuff, and then I'm probably going to do some of the activations from part 7. I'm going to do these coinciding with the rest of what's coming out, so there's probably going to be like more coming out at once rather than none coming out at all, just to get it done. And every fucking life I've lived, apparently I've had a hard time getting this shit done. It was like, you've always anchored half of it, but you never fucking finished it. I'm like, no shit, huh? Seems like it. Alcyon Light Healing, I did the new activation too. Do it, yes. Oh, I need release the fear. See? That's, I feel like that's why I'm telling you. So hopefully this week, and then third eye is the next level. Like, that's the one we're going into, and then the bonus. I mean, there will be a meditation for the third eye, and then I do the overview of the level 7, and that's it. Level 7 is all activations and connecting with all the different star beings. Also, how to find your purpose, find your purpose activation, find your niche, and then there's one on how to do your own activations, how to run your own workshops. Those are like the ones that I teach within. So then that's gone, and then comes my happy ending, and I have shamanist, which is going to help us to do the shamanic path a little bit better. I don't think a lot of people know some of the basic stuff, so they don't get to do the other stuff. So there's going to be that coming in the same type of way. All right. Let me see the chat, please. Woohoo! Love it. Awesome sauce. Yay. All right. Bridget, about the retreat you once mentioned in your videos. I'd love to. Okay. I'm not sure which one I mentioned it in. There was, like, I've thought about doing it because I know I could, you know, do it for, like, there's Dolphin Island that I looked into, and it didn't seem that bad, but, like price-wise and, like, setting it up with things to do, and then I've done retreats, like, I've gone on retreats before to New Hampshire. I was, like, the other woman ran it, like, she was the one that was, like, she made all the money, but I was there basically as, like, you know, cleaner and picker-upper. I didn't have to pay to go, but I was, like, the one that did all the, like, extra stuff, cleaning and you know, that type of stuff. But even the way that was set up, it's like, it's not that difficult. It's just getting everybody on the same plan and making sure people don't back out or screw you over with, like, their deposits and stuff like that is the main thing that we gotta be careful of with those types of things. But yeah, I thought about doing it here too, like getting a tent for the backyard that has, like, a big, like one of those big tents that you put like the fireplace in if you need it. If I did it in the summer, I wouldn't need to do that. But like out there, every time I go out there, there's fucking star beings out there. They have the Reiki room with all the like you get the Reiki healing, I have meditation. I've got my pool. Like I can make it a nice weekend or something for people. Um, but I do want to go somewhere too. Like I want to go to like Peru and I've seen like excursions there where it's like X amount of money, you know, you got to have this, that, and the other thing and plan it out. But it's safer for women too to go on a fucking, like, let's all six of us go rather than just Bridget go. Because Bridget's probably going to die. She's not going to come back. They're going to traffic her ass. Yes, Peru. Okay. All right. So I will look more into that and figure it out. But yeah, I do want to be careful with where I go. My supposed twin flame's brother died recently, and his brother came to me in a dream and said his goodbyes, and I'm in a relationship now going on 2 years, and I feel bad I couldn't be there for him. I'm sorry, lovely insights. That's, it's not easy, and I know it's, like, difficult to deal with anybody passing, and then to have that deep connection, but to be, like, not available. Did you have like a question about that particularly that you wanted me to answer, or I'm not sure how you want me to approach that? Like if you want me to ask about how he's doing, ask about what you should do as a result of it. You know what I mean? Ah! Sorry. Let's see. Yes, please look into it. Okay. I feel like I need a different deck. Oh, come here. Ah! Where? I'm so sorry, mister. God. My dog opened the door on me 3 times. He's like, how dare you go in there without me? Alright, what he's doing, I guess. Okay. So, I don't know why. I haven't used this deck in a long time. This is like the Animal Spirit Guidebook, or the Animal Spirit book. Animal Spirit deck with the Animal Spirit Guidebook. The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit. Oh, goodness. Fire Ant. And the Dragonfly and the Starfish. So, we'll see what they say. And then I got my Shamanic Healing deck. Which, sexual energy. This has been coming through a lot. Masculine energy. So has this tonight. And just in general. Oh my god, and look, retreat. So, you guys just mentioned a fucking retreat. And, you know, I think with everybody I was talking about, there's the feminine energy to go with the masculine energy for the sexual energy. Jesus Christ. So yeah, everybody, I feel like we have been in a retreat almost of ourselves. People have been, you know, going through changes, figuring things out, going within. And it is time for a new day. It's time for abundance. It's time for us, of any harbored anger or things that we've held on to kind of be released And I feel like we also feel like this pull or this drive to connect with others, to go, to be around others, to have healing energy and joy presented to us in sacred space, you know, so that we can have those emotional releases, so we can have the death of the old view and see through the illusions and the struggles that we've had, love ourselves in a better way, so that we can pay attention to the omens and the unlimited possibilities that are here for us. And we've been on that inner journey, you know, waiting for the divine timing, but we've grown and we're coming to these new beginnings where we do need discernment on figuring out like the right dualistic approach to our life, like to forgive and let go, or have a forgiveness and a reunion of souls, you know, like we're teaching ourselves to honor our energy, to be creative, and then to ground the right things without burdening ourselves. And that's hard to know what the right answer is, because I know a lot of us have like unconditional love for this masculine or this person in our lives, whether it's a man or a woman. We have this sexual energy, this pull to these people that's also a burden in itself, because you love them, you care about them, like you want to be able to not have that be like that way, you know, like you think about your truth, honoring yourself. It's like, well, I love them, I want to spend time with them, I want to be with them, I want things to work out, I want joy. But if their truth isn't aligned to that and we can't discern that, like maybe they're angry at us, maybe they hate us, maybe they're just gonna try to do stuff, you know, with you when it's convenient to them, and then let you go because of whatever. But there's also the possibility of them learning and having divine timing play into things with their perceptions, so that it's not just about sexual energy with them, or it's not just about whatever, like, or maybe we're seeing things from our perception that needs to change over time. So I feel like all of us need to get creative in how we look at the things around us and the reunions of the souls that we deal with. I know you've said, like, the brother passed away, he came to you, you've been in a relationship with other people, so obviously there's a part of you thinking about this, you know, you're still thinking about them, like, you're not asking about the boyfriend, you're not really sure what to ask even, which I feel like kind of speaks to the fact of, like, sometimes we don't know what the right thing is, sometimes we don't know what to do, we get caught up with like the collective consciousness of what other people think. Like when I talked to the twin and they were inebriated, so when they're inebriated, I'm not sure if I'm getting the truth or not from them, but they say things that I'm like, they said how like the church made them feel like I was a no-no because of the chemistry, because of the like passion, because of that, like, holy fuck, that's a fucking lot of fire, that's a lot of something I've never experienced before. So he didn't know how to deal with it, he didn't know how to, but he felt like guilty for having it, for enjoying it, or for the passion that existed there. But that's the collective consciousness programming us these false beliefs of like, that's bad. So we like go into crisis, you know, because everything in our body is driving and pushing us to have these connections, or to, you know, like, that feels good. And like for me, that's pretty fucking simple. It feels good, that's great, like, this is the best time I've ever had. You too? Okay, let's do more of that. But they're like, I gotta run away, that's scary, that's bad, that's like, no, like, I'm not allowed to have that. But that's the belief system that they have. So who knows what the belief system is inside of yourself that would make you be like, let me go just forget about this and be in a new relationship. Or maybe there's something inside of you that just needed to go through that relationship that you're in now because of karma. Like, I met my person that I would consider to be the twin when I was 14. We broke up. I've seen a lot of other people since then. They've come back and they've left, and they've come back and they've left, like, at different times in my life. That's the only reason why, like, when I learned what twin flame was, like, they were the first thing that came to mind, because it was already like that when we were kids. They would come and go, they would call and then disappear, and then they'd come back and then they'd go, and they'd come back and then they'd go. You know, like that sudden cut from us, or the sudden shift within things. But there's obviously underlying reasons for it all, and we're never going to really know, you know, what is inside of another person. We don't know what makes them make their decisions. We don't know what they truly feel. We don't know what to truly take away from others. But we can also be honest with ourselves of like, what feels right to us. Like, do you feel like you need to talk to him, or do you feel like there's something in there that's unfinished? Like, because even when I was in relationships with other guys, like, there was a part of me that knew that I was not going to be there forever, or like, that I was going to talk to the person again, and I didn't know when or how, and like the guy I was with before, he blocked me from being friends with him on Facebook, but I still knew. I was like, eventually I'll talk to them again. Like, I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't freaked out about it. But I knew it was going to happen. So sometimes I feel like we do know these things on a deep level. You may not trust yourself to fully know it or embrace it, but I'm sure somewhere inside of you has some sort of idea about it. I'm trying to find the fucking starfish. Where the heck is it, man? Here it is. Alright. Beneficial, beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. So, the starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill. You've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is, these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? And what dreams have I put aside to please others? What dreams have you put aside to please others? I don't know. But again, there's like, you see the duality within this. Like, we could look at this, all right, you dreamt about the brother, he came in. Did I put that aside to please the guy I'm with right now? Is the guy I'm with right now just like that outward appearance of like, at least I have somebody and I'm not alone? Because we can do that with our codependency. We can feel like there could be a superficial attachment there just out of like the necessity to attach to somebody. I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I'm just saying that because I've been there, I've done that, and, stayed places that I really didn't want to be. It says, when out of balance, there's a gossip and a feeling empty, and then to bring into balance, having positive friends. So, is the relationship you're in healthy? Does the person you're with right now get jealous about things like, does he know about that other person? Would it be okay for you to talk to the twin to say, hey, I had a dream about your brother or whatever? Or would that cause a big, huge problem? Is there insecurities there? Usually there's insecurities among us when we know somewhere deep down that, like, this isn't really where I'm supposed to be, or the one, like, it depends. Like, if it's a narcissist, they fucking just fuck with your brain altogether. You're gonna be messed up. But if it's just somebody that has their own insecurities or healing to do, that's gonna cause problems. But in your core, down at like the center of yourself, you should kind of know, is this the person I'm gonna be with, or I even want to be with, or is there somebody else out there that eventually I'm gonna meet or find or get together with, or I just feel like will be happening at some point. If that's in there somewhere, then it's probably, the indicator of like, hey, you're not really where you want to be. Because if you were, you wouldn't be considering those other places. But that can also shift and change. Where the hell? Alright, here we go. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. So when in balance, we see clearly, we're joyful, we're magical. When we're out of balance, we can't concentrate, we're busy within our mind. ADHD. To bring into balance, you got to focus on our breath, to breathe and relax and to calm ourselves. So, and I think with this world, a lot of us do get bombarded, we get overwhelmed, we distract, we just run from ourselves. We're always, oh, the divine masculine's running away from me. Well, where are you running away from yourself? Where are you not fucking stopping and breathing and being present in your own journey is usually what it is. And it's like, oh, they abandoned me. Well, where did you abandon yourself? Oh, they treated me like shit. Where did you treat yourself like shit? Oh, they blah, 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 blah. Oh, where did you do that? Like, it may not look exactly the same, but it's usually present. Or they wouldn't be your divine masculine. They wouldn't be your mirror. Even when they're doing shit that's kind of shitty, they wouldn't be allowed to be there doing it if you weren't doing it to yourself on some level for them to mirror that back to you. When it becomes so fucking obvious that, like, hey, that's really not a good thing to do, and I don't deserve that, and you stop it, then they have that choice to either stop it and mirror and match you on that new healthy level, or you won't let them in to do that shit because you're not on that vibration. But I think you need to also like look at like where were things at before this other guy came in. Like obviously you got to the point to go to date the other guy at some point for some reason. Was it out of codependency, or was it out of a necessity to have somebody that's healthy in your life? Is he healthy or isn't he healthy, or is that just a reflection of you improving over time? Nobody's going to know that except for you. You need to figure out for yourself like what's going on internally and how it's being reflected back to you by people around you. And the only way we can really do that is by taking the time for self-reflection, and it's something that's going to be a long time, and it depends on where you've come from, who you've been around, who treated you what way at what time, in what world, and what fucking life, and this whole world is constantly bombarding us and hitting us, and we're having to overcome shit that's not necessarily easy. But you should know the answer to those questions, even if you just sit down and journal about them. Like, ask yourself, am I being treated the way I should be treated? Am I respecting myself the way I would want to be respected by others? Am I happy in this relationship? Is this out of a codependency or out of a necessity? You know what I mean? Oh God, he's married now, and I live with my person. I just feel bad things went to shit, and I couldn't be there for him as a friend. He's very healthy. I did all my work and just came into my life, and I've been happy since we were like best friends, but the sinks of the other don't stop. Okay, so what do you feel like Spirit's calling you to do? Do you feel like Spirit's calling you to talk to him? Or do you feel like what, you know, like there should be something inside of you, like I feel like there's something I need to do, or some, like, if there's all the sinks connected to these people, usually it's like unfinished business. Something's not right, something's not finished, or I'm not seeing something, you know, like they said in both of these are about perception, and like, are we looking at the good but not the bad? Are we only remember, because we do that, like even people back like when there was World War II, they were like, oh, it was so much better in those days, you know, like people would share with each other, because back when they were fucking rationing food in cans and stuff, like you get one egg for your household for the week and you get one can of this, people would reflect on that as those were good times because people would share. They were nice to you. There was fucking bombs going off everywhere, but the people were nice to you when you got your food. But they still think of that as, oh, it was a better time. That's how we do with everybody and everything. We always think back to things as like we see the good around it. We forget about the negative parts about it. Is a thing that like I've learned when I did the new paradigm. I was like, ooh, it's like we can you know, pick and choose out like the better. Or always kind of look back with nostalgic about it, even when we know that maybe it wasn't the best like upbringing or time that we spent somewhere. We can try to look at, and it's a good thing to see the positive, but we just want to make sure that we're seeing it or doing what we need to do, to keep ourselves, you know, planted in a firm place of reality where it's like we're not just seeing what we want to see, or we're not just looking at the good parts of it or putting it up on a pedestal because it was, you know, something. Because we can keep things alive in us or in our life just by focusing on it or thinking about it or missing it. Maybe you miss some part of that connection, you miss some part of that friendship, so you keep that part of it alive rather than bringing the new person in to be your friend on that level. It doesn't have to be that person to fulfill. Maybe they did fulfill those roles that they did, but obviously they're in a new reality now. They're married and they're moving into this part of their life, and you're in this part of your life with this person that makes you happy. Maybe you need somebody new to fill the role of that friend or that person. The fire ant is about aggression, rigid thinking, and following orders. And it says fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Like gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend that the heat isn't getting to you. So, I feel like maybe this person is thinking about you, and that's why you are being reminded of them so much, or so much is coming up to you about them. Or maybe there's something there that's just like, there's some sort of energy that's still coming to you, like, because chords come, like maybe his wife has some animosity against you, maybe he talks about the times he spent with you as like those reminiscent, those were good days and I miss that person, or she could be jealous and pissed off about it and sending you daggers and aggression and rigid blah. Or there's something there from his side, like maybe he's keeping that open because of him talking about something or him thinking about something that, just isn't bringing things to balance. So it says, when in balance, people are thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, there's arguing, excessive heat, and gossiping. And to bring into balance, a solo time walks at night. There's obviously something here that's not being seen clearly. It's like there's a fakeness around it, almost like this person to your face says nice things to you, but behind your back maybe doesn't, or somebody in your life does that to you. I'm not sure exactly why this is showing up, but let's see. He's very wealthy. I did all my. Okay. You're laughing. I don't know. Like, does this make sense to you? Do you feel like there's something there that's like doesn't get seen? Obviously, you're not seeing it, so you're not going to notice it. So you're not being aware of it, which makes sense for gossip, right? The way these three cards talk to each other, it's like, like maybe you don't know how he is behind closed doors. The brother in the dream hugged me and then he left. And yeah, it does. Okay. So maybe deep down you've always known that guy wasn't really like who he pretended to be on the face value of himself, but that you now have the opportunity to have that. And maybe the brother was coming to like hug you to set you free, to like give you the confirmation or something, that like chapter is closed, and like you can still have the good things you saw within that friendship in a real way with a real person that's not going to be talking shit about you, that's not going to be like doing weird shit or getting crazy, because some people can't let things go. Some people will hold on to resentment and anger for the rest of their lives, even if you love them, apologize to them, and try to make things right with them. Sometimes they just don't, it can't be squashed, you know. But I definitely feel like there's something that hasn't been on the up and up around him. The dolphin is here too, and the dolphin I feel like is what you need for your future or for moving forward at this time. So I'm going to assume the dolphin is with the water beings. I feel like the brother came to hug me to know there's no resentment and to let it go. Oh, okay, so you were the one maybe holding on to the resentment. Okay, all right. I didn't want to piss you off or say the wrong thing, but that makes sense. Okay, so you've been hurt by him and you've been holding on to that hurt. Yeah. I think we can all understand that. I think we've all been fucking hurt at some point, and, it sucks. But this says, the dolphin, I feel like, is what needs to come in. So the gift of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Their personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for the dolphin types to underestimate the impact that they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. So this card can also indicate a profound blessing is on its way. So when in balance, it's an active healer, strong spiritual practice, and then when it's out of balance, it underestimates the own power. So the way that he treated you, the way things ended, it probably put you into a place of feeling badly about yourself, ignoring, what you knew on the surface of things to be, or having that underlying subconscious belief system that we don't even have to consciously believe it. Like, we can see somebody do something to us, how they behave to us, and just think, like, maybe they did that because I'm ugly, or I'm not good enough, or I'm stupid, or I'm like this, whatever the hell it is that we equate to it being. They don't necessarily really feel that way, believe that thing, or have that truth. And it may not be the truth that we know either. We may know what the truth of the matter was. That's just who they are. That's them. That's not me. But the subconscious already having that about it and seeing it can start believing it. And that may be where you need to work to clear that, because like I said, we can create our reality with these synchronicities and this confirmation and the 222 and the thing that's tied to that person all day, every day. And the more we pay attention to it, the more we're going to see it. You can assign the meaning to it as him, or you can assign the meaning to it as walk away from him. You get to be the creator of your reality. If you know that you may have been in a way that was like, not going to get you anywhere good, like just holding on to that pain and resentment, the anger, then you know what to do to let it go and to move on, and just be happy for yourself that you're not going to be connected to that. Now you're ascending. Now you're getting away from that shit show. You're going to have your abundance. So a new day is coming with 11. So when you see 11, see that as a new day, as a new dawn, as recognizing the duality that exists within everything, and then no longer struggling, no longer having pain, no longer staying stuck under the burden of the anger, the resentment, the sadness, the pain that this person gave to you, and then integrating it with 33. So now when you see 33, this is the integration of the new beginning of this new place. It's going to be slow but steady, which is another 3. Slow but steady integration for your new beginning to take you to the fucking 44 home. So 44 is now going to be your home, your foundation, okay? Has nothing to do with him, has nothing to do with anything except for this slow, steady progress forward to your retreat, which is a 40 to go with the 44. So 444 is like, I'm going to retreat away and I'm going to heal. And I'm going to discern with number 6. So when you see 6, a lot of times you see 666, oh, bad. 666 is a reminder of, like, don't think about, like, money. Don't think about, like, ego-based things. Think about discernment. Discern, is this for my highest and best? Am I doing this for my highest and best? Or am I letting my weirdness fuck me over? And then again, 1111, the new day, the new dawn, a new awakening, a new beginning, new thoughts is creating my new reality. And try to, like, see things like, give a new way of looking at it. I see 4s too. I see 4. Yeah. I've been seeing 1111 lately, and yes, abundance. I'm going to start working for the Los Angeles County now. Awesome sauce. Both of them played me dirty, so when the brother passed and came hugged me in the dream, was like, sorry, we're all good now. Yeah, so I mean, even in that too, it could have been a lot more connected to him. Like, he was going through his death. He needs to go up and do the judgment thing, like, oh fuck, I'm an asshole, sorry. Because if I don't do that and I just walk up out of here leaving that mess behind me, I'm not going to go to heaven. I'm going to be defeating myself. So he needed to, like, probably, show you, like, hey, well, but there's always illusions in things. Like, we can't carry resentment and anger and sadness or pain or whatever it is, on those lower vibrations. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's sad or mad. Usually mad is, like, what comes about because sadness had nowhere to go. Men end up having a lot of anger because they can't cry and show people I'm sad without feeling, emasculated and bad. So this thing happens. They don't feel worthy unless they, are strong and angry rather than sad and weak is what their mindset is. But none of us are going to be in a good balance with that type of fucking chaos inside of ourselves. So we can either let it come out as anger, or we can let it come out as sadness, or we can let it come out as physical pain if we let it go too far. But your happy ending is available to you. So yeah, cut the karma, forgive the past, and justice will bring you your ultimate fulfillment. Your new start has already begun, and you're energetically aligned for the right people to be in your life, to love you on the right value that you know you're worthy of. And don't let the past dictate what, your future will be. And yeah, so redefine those numbers. Like, my mom passed away at 4:44 in the morning. And I always told her, 4:44 is the angels are with you. So I feel like she chose 4:44 because it's her last breath. I saw it rise and did not, that was it. Her last breath, she was gone, 4:44. And I feel like she did that intentionally so that every time I see 4:44 in the morning, I think of her. She's that angel that's with me now. But for you, you can look at it as that, or you can look at it as your foundation, because 4 is the 4 pillars. It's the 4 parts of our foundation that we live in, and it's where we begin, and our home, our roots, our safety, our basic everything. The 4 directions is how we open sacred space. But you get to be the one that defines these things. So define the things that are going to give you unlimited possibility in your new day, and creatively, honor your energy with that discernment to integrate it in a way that's different than has been. The season, new perspective. As long as we keep shifting and elevating our awareness, we're usually good. And it is going to keep changing over the years. Okay. I saw a wolf when I was trying to go to sleep. Does that happen with you? I did a meditation recently. It was a shamanic one. It was called Who Are You is the name of it. I've shared it with a couple of people, but it was like the whole thing was just like, who are you? And the only thing it says is like water, air, but it's not like spread out. And when I did that meditation, I became half wolf, half human. And I saw like this whole past life that I lived in that way. So when I meditate, I can see things like that play out. I don't usually I'm so fucking tired by the time I actually go to sleep or like lay down to go to sleep that I don't have time to see anything. You know what I mean? I'm not just like laying like I push myself to the edge and then I just knock out. um, is usually what happens. I think some of that was fear of seeing stuff because I like had so many crazy times that I've experienced with seeing that I've like feared myself into a place of like not being able to take that time. But when I do meditate, I see a lot. It's just been getting more and more increased lately, but I'm programming myself to not go to the fear of seeing something bad or seeing something negative. But I'm sure that I could if I gave myself time to just lay there and relax. I would probably, see an animal or something. Right now is the wolf moon that we just had, so makes sense. This is the time of year for the wolf spirit to be around. It was around for me last year at this time, like heavily, um, and they have their meanings and their messages. But I feel like you're just stepping into this more. Just don't let your fears sabotage it. Stay balanced. All right, let's see. Yeah, it was staring at me and it looked angry and just disappeared. um, that could have been the representation of energy. I don't usually see while meditating because that's when I freak out. I see shit when I don't expect it. Maybe because you're not putting up protection or something. Maybe you need to always be like protecting yourself before you go into that place. My stepdad is from Thailand and has a lot of dragon statues. Mind you, I was sleeping at their home. So maybe it's like his guide or something. Yeah. Um, we all have two animals with us. Like, all of us have spirit animals with us. Like, two of them from the day we're born. They're always there. But then there's power animals that come in at different times that will shift. And we can call on them to come in and help us, or they will just be there present at different times. Like, right now, the wolf moon's going to bring in wolf energy. Other times, it might be, like for me, the dolphin's always been very heavy. First time I saw dolphins, I was a little kid and I cried and I'm at fucking Disney World, like SeaWorld, crying because I saw dolphins. Um, so it's going to impact everybody differently, which animal it is for them probably. But I think we all can connect with them at different times if we want to, but also just because they're there always. That's going to be part of the shamaness thing. Shamaness 101, we're going to take you to the underworld to figure out who your animals are, and then take you to the all three levels, and then soul retrieval, and spirit illumination, and go into your center spot to the tree spirit, a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Where have I been? All right, Jenny. Thank you. Me too. Then you had COVID again? What the fuck? Two focus. Okay, I saw those. My third. Okay, I saw those. Did I get it? All the questions up here? Laura, did I give you? Monica. Okay, Laura is, I'm open to whatever. I'm a Capricorn. Oh, did I do you? I think Songs of Starlight. Was that the first one? Yes, alright. Songs of Starlight I did. Laura is open to whatever. Okay. Ooh, you get the magnet. I feel like all the message, like when people come to these, I feel like all the messages that come through are usually like all over each other, like some level, if you just kind of discern. It's like, oh, that makes sense for me too. But this is longing, desire, gravity, magnetic attraction, charm, je ne sais quoi, seduction, yearning, okay? I don't know if you've been in this energy, or maybe you are this way for other people, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna know that. Like, have you been feeling like, I want to, like, I feel this pull, this draw, this je ne sais quoi from others? Or do you feel like you've been more of this for yourself? Have you been maturing and finding your sexuality and feeling more established and, having that achievement, like more like, woohoo, good times, like flirting, flinging, reward, good fortune, unexpected goodness, and metamorphosis. I feel like if you haven't already been in this energy, then it's probably coming, like a vibrant, abundant, happy, wishes coming true, comfort. I feel like this is basically the same type of thing. So there's going to be some sort of catalyst, some sort of drive, some spark, some fire that comes in. You can either fan the flames to bring it in, or you can repeat things of the past that got it to go away or kind of like lessened it. It's up to you. Stepping stones are there for you to decide what you want to do. Do you want to go to victory and, feel better over time, develop like that fine wine, sexy and seductive and all of that, or you can let the devil mess us up and take us down a path of worry and defeat and stuff. So staying in that easygoing, like wishes coming true, good type of vibration is going to be best for you. Like seeing this rebirth again for everybody. It's like the subconscious beliefs. If you're not happy where you are, if you feel like there could be more, which it should be the case for everybody, because we're never fucking done, like lifting out of duality. It's here. It's just, so we got to keep going. When we hit the stalemates, don't let it be the end of everything. Don't let it be the end of your good. Let it be the end of that particular part of your life, and then keep moving forward. Figure out what's not good for you, or who's not good for you, and commit to what is and who is, and then believe that you can get to where you need to go so that you can have that benefit of all of that. I think I can. I can see from a higher perspective. I am going to spin my fucking wheel of destiny in my favor and have a better outcome. But I got to get rid of the things that made me feel like a wounded warrior, that beat my ass down, so I can have this new passionate magnetic charge about me, attract people who were going to be balanced and love me as a true divine man, because I'm valuable, I'm sexy, I'm independent, I'm confident. I deserve this fucking 10 of pentacles and 10 of cups. I'm going to heal my mind, I'm going to heal my soul, I'm going to see in a new way. What the hell? I just heard something. I just heard like music or something. I'm going to heal in a new way. I had ordered food, but they didn't bring it before. Like, grocery store place. Hopefully it'll be here when I finish. You get the rabbit. Ooh, yeah, man, you need to have some freaky deaky fucking time. You need to get wild and crazy. Let's see. Rabbit. Where the fuck is the rabbit? Earth? Are you in Earth? Yeah, you're in Earth. Rabbit. Afraid of everything. God, guys. Overwhelmed, frozen. Fight or flight? Ah! Not gonna move. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day that motherfucking eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. And the rabbit energy is alive when we are scared. Most often about the future, and it can become our own worst enemy. We can spin up a dust of fear and doubt, and we can complain about it, that we are lost. But notice your thoughts and your words. Oh, rabbit, they shape your destiny. So and I said this earlier in the beginning of this, it's like your words are spells, you're spelling over your life. If you keep affirming negative things about the way other people are to you, or the way you are to yourself, or the way that you feel, or the way that was like going to be, that's what it's going to be. Unfortunately, we can't, change that. So basically what this is saying, like if you've had those fears, if you've had those doubts, if people have done you wrong, done you dirty, we don't want to like live in the place where we constantly look at that. We want to see through the darkness so they can't do it again. Be aware of it, but don't think about it so much or fear it happening again, because that's the only thing that's going to happen. We're going to create a new version of what we've already experienced every time over and over till we stop. And we learn the lesson of the thing. Okay, we know what that person does. Let's not let them do that again. Like cyclical journey, right? Like last fucking Christmas Eve and this fucking Christmas Eve, I had the exact same fucking thing happen to me, but I didn't deal with it the same way. Last year I heard all these things, blah, 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 and I went. And then this year I heard all these things and I didn't go. And so there was, you know what I mean? Like it was difficult. I didn't enjoy it, but I had to do it. I had to say no, because I know that the pumpkin blows up at midnight. I know what's happening right now. I saw it last year. Am I going to go repeat that again? I should learn my lesson. And then Halloween, 1 year to the fucking day, again. That person was in my life to repeat a cycle, but we didn't repeat it. We changed it. We changed what happened, but they brought him back both fucking times this year. On the fucking day, in the same fucking way, and it was like, so we will be tested to see. Did you see that? Did you recognize? Do you know? Are you going to perceive it in the way of, maybe this time will be different than the last 75 times, or maybe I should evolve and, choose a different course of action here that's going to lift me up out of this craziness. The wolf's mission, I just opened up to, which we've been talking about. So the wolf's mission is a guardian of family and tribe. It is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, and teaching, religious and political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes that every member of the tribe will follow the suit, and this includes the children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following, embrace all, and exclude none. So we want to, know that sometimes people can change. Things can heal, right? People who did something at one time may not do that again later. But if we've seen the same things repeating and stuff like that, we can have that awareness of that might happen again. But we don't want to go out there like afraid of that happening again, so that it does happen again, or put ourselves in the standoff energy that we saw coming through tonight with others, or hanging on to anger and resentment, because it's not going to get us anywhere. It's just going to be like heavy. It's going to take us down. It's not going to feel like, yeah, this is so much better. So let me see with the owl, get the butterfly, the vulture, the peacock, peacock, hawk, the cock and the hawk, and the phoenix. Oh my god, where the fuck are you? Big nightingale, dragonfly. Oh my god. What the fuck? Where are you? Oh my god. Where is it? Oh, way back here after the crow. Makes no fucking sense. Alright, the owl is abundant, clairvoyant treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that or a boon or treasure is on the way, either in a spiritual or material form. With the owl wisdom on your side, you will see and you will know exactly what to do with this boon. How it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. So when in balance, it's generous, trusting, secure. When out of balance, money quarrels and scarcity. So if you've been feeling scarcity, if you I know you were going through some stuff before, and moving and changing and things like that, that in itself can make us focus on scarcity and fear and lack, and I don't have enough, and I don't do that, and things are going bad and down, and we can continue down that path. We can continue on that fear of that fucking lack, which this again, the rabbit's about billions of babies. They reproduce and reproduce and reproduce, tons and tons. There's never a lack. We don't have a lack of anything. Everybody gets on, I don't have I need abundance. There's an abundance of everything, but it's an abundance of what you focus on. There's an abundance of fear, an abundance of this path that you're on right now that's going, or a path of lots of bad, lots of negative. It's whatever we focus on. You always have an abundance of pain, an abundance of a pain in the ass, abundance of this asshole fucking thing that we don't like that's right there. We can create much of that because it's what we're focused on. But if we focus on, oh, wait a minute, there's an abundance of good people and money and resources and sex and babies and everything here, but we got to focus on it and invite it in and be open to it, not stand off with it, not let the fucking delivery of some asshat in the past to dictate the delivery in the future, or the belief of something that some asshat in the past has told us about ourselves or makes us feel about ourselves. And no, there was a time that something was said to you about you don't have what it takes or something, you can't do it, you still need your parents or something like that, to that degree. And I know it bothered you and it went in deep on your mind, and subconsciously you're living in that and you're believing that and you're letting that be a detriment to you, and it's not the fucking truth. It's just what you let someone else look at you and feel you took it to heart. You took it personally. It was just a fucking thing that was happening at the time. And newsflash, this world is fucking hard, and you're a girl, so they're not giving you the same money they're giving a guy, and they're not gonna. Life isn't easy for anybody. Sometimes we need to use our parents as like a member of the thing. Like, we're roommates. At least you're roommates with somebody you can trust better than probably these strangers that we know out here, these people who murder you randomly, or people like, the ones that drag you along and then fucking marry somebody else. So you're better off in the situation that you're in, getting the resources together that you've been getting together, learning the lessons that you've been learning at this time, overcoming the shit show that's been in your life. And I know it can be scary. You may feel like, I'm going to be alone forever. I'm never going to be able to do this by myself. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. We all do it to ourselves. Even when we're not in the situation, we're afraid of the situation. So we create that situation. Eventually, we do create our worst fears. But we gotta snap ourselves out of it and not go there, because it's very easy to go. It's just as easy to go up and out. So shift this perspective around that. Know that I don't need to be afraid. I don't need to be going down. I don't need to live out this fucking thing that this person spoke over my life. That spell that he spoke over you. You perceived it. You felt it. You let it hurt you. And you let it bring you down. So let it be the difference now. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition, since the air is the element of the heart. This change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon. Committing to the one daily routine, a male practice or prayer done at the same time and place every day will do wonders for lifting a butterfly's spirit. So I say this to people all the time, like, what changed my life really quickly and easily and awesome, and I was like, wow, that surprised me, was the affirmation thing, the gratitude thing. Every day for a month, write down what your gratitude is, even if it's only one thing that you're gonna do. Like, could be in a book like this. I just started this one. Like, I am grateful for all I've learned and all I can do and all I will do. I am happy, healthy, powerful, sexy, strong, powerful. I am a healer of myself and others. I am abundant. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pachamama and great spirit. And I'm going to do that every, day that I can remember to do it. But if show up every day to feed yourself in some way, whether it's mentally, emotionally, whether it's as simple as writing down in your book. I have the big one here too, which I see all the time. I even wrote it big. I'm better. I'm healed. I'm happy. Like, we need to fucking remind ourselves constantly, subconsciously, consciously, and not let it go away. I found this thing last night too. I saw this thing last night, which is another version of the circle. The guy was like, hey, this is a way to manifest. So if you're feeling fear, or you're feeling lack, or you're feeling like you're not going to have, or you can't do this, or you're never going to be, or whatever the fuck it is, you write down, like, you're going to start differently than what the finished thing is here. Let me start over. These things work if you do them. If you don't fucking do them, they don't work. But if you do them, they work. Not that hard. You got to do it though. All right, so we do thought 1, thought 2, and thought 3 based on something that we want to manifest. So thought 1, thought 2, thought 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So if you, the example was like, I manifested $10,000. So it was like, the thought would be, I have $10,000. Now yours could be like, I want to find security and safety within myself. Like I'm living in my own home, happily married, or I'm living my happily ever after, right? That's probably a big thing. You might want to take it one chunk at a time, but that's where you can go with something like this. So let's say, like, I'm independent, okay? So if you were living out on your own and feeling good about yourself fully, I'm independent would be a thought. And then the next one, they were like, this is a miracle, right? So this is life-changing, or this is amazing, all right? And then I'm so surprised, like, I am powerful, right? Like, I did it. I fucking did it. I'm powerful. And then the 3 things that were feelings. So feeling 1, feeling 2, feeling 3. You're going to like do this. So I am powerful. What's the feeling for I'm powerful? Strong. I'm fucking strong. And then this is amazing. What is the feeling for that? Like shocked. I'm fucking shocked. I'm fucking strong. And then I am independent. So what's the feeling for that? Um, uh, Confident. I'm confident. I am whatever it is. Okay. So then we're gonna do a circle around the whole thing, and then over here we're gonna affirm the 3 T's, the 3 thoughts, for 5 minutes every day. You do that, and then here we're gonna affirm the emotions for 5 minutes every day. I don't have my highlighter over here, but you circle a highlighter, circle with a highlighter, and then you do a star here in highlighter, circle, circle, highlighter. I don't know why, but that was what he did. So if you have a highlighter, do that. If not, I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world, but that's what he did do. But you're gonna basically be like, I am independent. This is amazing. I am powerful. I am strong. I am shocked. I am confident. 5 minutes and 5 minutes is 10 minutes. Do that every day. You're going to have the subconscious that believes that you are independent. You are living in that life. So the reality around you, the field of existence, will have nothing else to fucking reflect back other than that. So you've got to do the things that get you into that place, because thinking like I'm back here and I'm not living where I want to be, and oh my god, and this is bad, and what if it gets worse, and I don't know what I'm going to do, that's what you're going to see. That's what's going to be reflected to us. And we're all doing it all the time, and we have things bombarding us all the time to make us feel that way, to make us feel lack, to make us feel scared, to make us feel inadequate and ugly and dumb, and it's bad. It's not easy, but you have everything you need to get out of there and to achieve the difference in your experience. But that could be something that you do every day to help you to overcome that type of stuff. Oh, look at the black egg. Black egg's a special one. I don't know what the black egg means. It's like a spirit one. There's the golden egg and the black egg. And a dragon. There is a dragon. The black egg is about speaking from an authentic voice in the truth. So the black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, no excuses, no small talk, no noise, and no lies, not even the white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly, and we are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear. We gossip, or we repeat stories to justify the subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment, and it is in every situation the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. And the subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat, and the ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Vishuddha translates as especially pure. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. So it's connected to your throat chakra. It's connected to that Ouroboros energy. It's connected to the, what do you call it? Shakanda, the portal of truth, to go to the portal, which is connected to all 4 directions, connected to the archetypes. It is a portal of transformation, and it reconnects you with your higher, self and the truth of all that is. Because the truth of all that is, you are the creator of all that is, but what are you creating is what we need to become aware of, and then make those changes necessary. Surround ourselves with the right people that don't take us into this place that's bad or negative or die, dead, not good. We gotta follow this guy. He knows where he's going. He's gonna be all right. He's gonna be like, hey, go over here. I'm a wolf. I know what to do. So just keep doing that. Keep going. Rise it up. Don't know if it's just the beginning of the new year. I feel really uncomfortable right now, even though I was in a state of calmness. And I'm trying to rewire my brain. I've been listening to subliminals a lot when I sleep. Yeah, I don't know exactly. Oh, wow, there's a lot up here. Okay. Um, okay, my stepdad is from Thailand. Oh yeah, I saw that. I have strong, deep love for cats. Dolphins makes me cry, and whales. They are from another dimension. Like the Syrian level of consciousness connected to our emotions, which is why I feel like we cry with them. And like Laura, you might even benefit from dealing with some of that yourself, like the dolphin and the whales. Go into the ocean. Like I saw a video earlier today. It was literally like a 10-second rail thing, you know, one of those quick like it was like maybe you just need to go to the beach, you know. I don't know if where you live is near the beach or if there's any places that have running water or outside water, or even your fucking bathtub can be kind of transported, like put salt into the water, soak your feet. um, Use the element of water, like for the Muniki, when we get the bands of power, we end up connecting to the elements of earth. So the black band connects to earth, and we take our negativity, transmute it into the earth. We ground to the earth to feed us and to sustain us. But the red one is connected to water. And when we have stuff come up emotionally, we want to wash it away with the water. A lot of us can use fire to transform our anger and our pissed off stuff. And again, sometimes sadness and anger could be reversed. Maybe instead of you feeling angry, you suppressed it into sadness. Other people could suppress their sadness into anger, depending on who they are and how they are in this world, and what they feel is, um, okay for them to do. If you grew up in a place where you weren't able to speak your truth because you were afraid people might, whatever, because you can get angry and you can yell and scream and be like, fuck, and it's okay, but we don't ever let ourselves do that. There's healthy ways to do it. Like when I used to kickbox, it was like, yeah, I loved it. But I can't find any place now that doesn't have like just the shitty version of it. I'm not looking for fucking like, what, like aerobic style. Like I used to go into the ring and fucking have like a real dude that knew what he was doing. But that changed how I felt, and I could get rid of, sometimes we need that. They have places where you just beat the shit out of stuff in a room. Um, Make that for yourself if you don't have that place. Go somewhere you can scream as loud as you want to scream and get out whatever's inside of you. Maybe you're frustrated, because I know you've been going through changes and you've had to watch some shit go down that's like, what the fuck? That would make me want to scream too. I've went through it too. I have my own stuff to scream about. I want to scream. But we don't let ourselves, it's going to eat us up and it's going to make us feel like, ah! I take baths religiously and I sit in there for hours, and I was just at the nature center today near the creek and cried. Yeah, see? So maybe just being more focused, like be more intentional about that, like those moments of allowing yourself, like make time every day to release the sadness and bring in like I'm doing this for this. I'm bringing in, I'm going to feel the sadness. I'm going to let it out. I'm going to cry. I'm going to feel sad. I'm going to do all those things until it's no longer there, because one day you may find that it's no longer there to be there. But it's obviously there right now for a reason. And I think all of us have been through it, and it's always going to change no matter where you are. Today will change tomorrow. Sometimes you're going to be sad, sometimes you're going to be mad, sometimes you're going to be glad. The fish is here, so I definitely think that anything to do with the water, anything to do with those types of energies, you're going to have this. I feel like you feel like you're not going to have that or something. Like this is like a mate for life. This is a love of your life forever. You're going to go with the flow. The resources are going to come. All of the right things are going to happen, but you got to, shift up and out of where you've been for that to happen. And obviously where you've been hasn't been the right place for you to be, because if it was, you'd be happy. And if you're not happy, it's because we've been backing up the wrong experience right now, or we've been looking at it in the wrong way, or expecting the wrong things to come about from wherever we are. But the fish says restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. So the fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, movement, and movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, at the peace and calm of the moon. It will soothe your soul. So like I was saying, come up with some very clear direction for your life. You know what I mean? Look at like go into meditation and look down on your entire world from up above, and look at how everything interconnects with each other, and how you've been living so far, and what's been influencing you in a positive way and what's been influencing you in a negative way, and just take, you know, that moment to be aware of it, and then set yourself up with a plan for this year of how you want it to be. Take one thing at a time. Like, challenge yourself. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the affirmations every day. I'm going to do the gratitude. Just doing something and checking it off your list every day releases a chemical in your brain that makes you feel better. Oh my God, I did it, and I want to do it again, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. You got to make those things for yourself. You know, we used to have it back in school. Like, here's your sticker for the day. But now you got to be the one coming up there on fucking. It could be a fucking sticker. It doesn't have to be anything major, but it's got to be something that you reward yourself with for doing what you do. You know, it may seem stupid or insignificant, but it does help us when we need it to change the things in our lives that maybe don't feel at the top of the game, or we don't feel like, again, that's where we need to be. I was going to just read the swan for you, if I can fucking find it. What is swan? Swan spirit? Fishy fish, stingray, crocodile, oh my god, shark, otter, swan. Swan is effortless creativity, sensitive, mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In the Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. I think you need to write, man. The swan is ready to take us there. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. So when it's out of balance, you're agitated, snippy, lacking vision. But when you're in balance, your infinite creative power is there. So solo time writing is what's going to bring to balance. That doesn't have to be like a book. It doesn't have to be like 30 minutes. It literally could be a fucking sentence a day, but you're taking that time to write it down, letting it out, getting what's up there to come out. Sometimes one of the most healthy, like, liberating things for us to do is write what we're feeling. It doesn't have to make sense. Nobody needs to read it. It doesn't have to go in order. Half of my books are just a fucking mess. But that's because I've been a mess in my head, and I'm trying to get it right. And I've noticed each book becomes a little bit less, chaotic, or like it's not as sad, or it's not as mad, or it's not as crazy. I literally just started this one like last week before I got my fucking my grounding mat, and I've already done like a lot within it. It just flows out when it needs to. Sometimes it's a poem, sometimes it's stuff I will share, sometimes it's ideas, sometimes it's what I need to say to a person that I'm never going to say it to, but I write it down. I can burn it and transmute it away, or I can write it down and just get it out. But it's however it wants to be expressed. It could be drawing. Sometimes when I'm in pain, physical fucking pain, I draw because it distracts me from the pain. Like, I don't feel the pain anymore because I'm drawing. And I'm like, I can't fucking feel pain right now. I'm busy. I'm busy distracting myself. But it does express itself too. Like, it gets expressed. Gives it an outlet to go somewhere that doesn't hurt anymore. And sometimes it's going to be scary and ugly, and sometimes it's going to be pretty, and, depends on what we're feeling in the moment. What the hell? And then doing those things, like do one of those once a week, one of those little, the circles, or some sort of manifesting thing. All right, let's see. Okay. I don't know, it's just the beginning of that. I would take baths. Okay. Wait, no. Well, I thought somebody said something. Nothing happened. I don't know. Usually it only pops up when there's like a new thing, but it didn't. Anyways, that stuff can be done by anybody too. Like, it doesn't have to just be one of us. Anything that feels like called to you. Like this stuff is like symbols that I got, like symbols from the galactic people, and then just like a design, you know. It may not feel like you may do better than you expect too, because before I woke up, I didn't know like I could draw, but I couldn't really draw well. But now, like when I apply myself or put effort in, like I can do like realistic flowers. I can do better stuff than what I used to do. Um, Sometimes if the pain is too much, it's just like it becomes a fucking mess. It's like ah, but it still releases it, so we don't have to feel it so much on a physical level. You're just getting it away from us. This is something I've been using too lately. This is the PTSD. Like, if you feel like they have these for depression, they have these for like our attachment style, which everybody has, and we attach to everybody in our life. So it's going to be your friends, it's going to be your parents, it's going to be your lovers, it's going to be everybody you know in your world. This book has that in it, but it's also CPTSD. Like if you grew up in a chaotic environment, or if you have had some bad thoughts, or an abusive person in your life, like living with a narcissist will make you have an extended amount of time in abuse, so it becomes complex PTSD. There's all these exercises in here that help you to overcome. So now you know what to write inside of your journal, because it's like, oh, this is what disassociation is. Let's see how I can avoid that. Let me recognize shame. I'm so stupid. I can't seem to do anything right. I'm an emotional wreck. I'm just lazy. You know, and then it asks questions to write out. I don't write in the actual book. I write in a journal, but it helps us to be like, oh, like, see, like stress responses, toxic stress responses, chronic stress, trauma, health, food cravings, addictions, physical abuse, verbal abuse. There's all types of stuff within these that have helped people. Like DBT therapy is dialectical behavior therapy. It was originated in the 1980s, and it helps people to basically treat the disorders that are going on within the way that they're thinking or feeling or connecting things in their life. Like, I am lovable, I am important, I am worthy, I survived, I belong, I am strong. A lot of us don't have that on a default thing. A lot of us believe falseness. We believe what somebody else told us about ourselves, or what society tells us about ourselves, because we're not fucking perfect and we don't look like that fucking supermodel. And then somatic one is like physical, like connecting to your body, asking your body, like, where do I feel discomfort? Where do I feel like that thing? Like, what's the last thing that really bothered me emotionally? What made me sad? And where am I holding that in my body? Am I holding in my power center? Oh, that's interesting, because my power center is connected to the two fucking spots on my feet that are the worst parts of my body right now that hurt. So my power has been tested. Oh, that makes sense. I'm learning this through the fucking reflexology and through the taking of this, and then doing the things like saying no to the stuff that I said yes to a year ago, so that I can get on the right path and stop feeling like fucking shit, and have a physical representation of the mental representation of the energetic representation of the creation within the relationships and just everything that we have here. And we're always under bombardment. There's avoidance that we can go into, there's denial that we can go into, there's just codependency, so many things. There's limerence. Limerence is when we become so infatuated with a person that we don't see the truth of it. We create like a fucking fairy tale around it. We're like, oh, they're like my fucking king in shining armor, but in reality, they're not that at all. They don't show any of that, but we can make ourselves believe that about them. Nobody's ever going to be as good as them. Nobody's ever going to fucking treat me that. No, and that's a good thing. You don't want to be treated that way. But we don't see that sometimes, but we can teach ourselves to see the things that we need to. And I'm not saying that's for everybody. I'm just saying that can be there. That can happen. And we can get defensive about it when it does happen, and we know it's happened, and we don't want to be like, oh no. We can deny for ourselves, we can lie to ourselves, we can harm ourselves, or we can heal ourselves. And it does take authenticity and truth, and it's scary, and it's hard, and it's painful, because we want the truth to be the truth that we want to live within. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to be in healthy connections. But if they're not, we can't be in them. And if we're not healthy enough to recognize the things that need to change, then they're not going to happen. But it's baby steps. You don't have to be there overnight. And if you heal, maybe the people around you will follow your fucking lead and come with you. You know, there's a reason for everything. But it's not easy. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I think I got everybody. Is there anybody here that I didn't get? There's the hummingbird, which is about fucking finding the strength, the solar plexus to rise out of the fucking shit shows that we're in. You know, find the strength. It's not easy. We don't necessarily really want to even sometimes, but we will when we have the higher perspective and see the darkness. These birds are all over the place. Lots of bird energy. All right, well, I think I've got everybody tonight. Thank you very much. There's going to be another one of these on Thursday on the other channel, the Divine Essentials channel. That one's only $2.99 a month to be a member, and that one happens the first Thursday of every month. And then on the 14th, I have a prepaid event. It's only set up for 9 people to come, and it's like $22 for the ticket. The event is on the other channel, and the link to buy your thing is inside of that description box on that channel. And then on the 18th, I have the crystal live sale thing I'm going to do to like talk to you guys about the crystals. And if anybody wants to buy one, they can do that. And I'm going to try to post some of them before then. I think I'm almost caught up with everything. Like, I have people who booked, but they did, like, they're not like due tomorrow or the next day. There's other people that, there's one more person that I have to get back that's like, I feel like they were due, like, just within the past couple of days. I've been asleep for a fucking week since getting that mat. I posted a video about it on the other channel today, if people want to see it. But, yeah, I'm going to do that next. The reading that I think is due back, and then I have only a couple other ones to get back. I'm going to clear those off and work on my fucking store. And then I will be back on Thursday. But thank you guys very much. Hopefully you all have a good, happy new year. And I will be back on this channel next month. Thank you. Good night.